Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we have the Kuat Piston bike rack. This is a brand new bike rack from Kuat. It's not exactly frugal, but it might be fit for you. We're gonna test the whole thing out, let you see how it works, load it up with a couple bikes, and we'll give you a full review. All right, here's our first piece. Here's the hitch. This is where that cinching tool that lets it just cinch up nice and tight inside the receiver. It's got a little Allen wrench this time instead of a manual kind of knob. Tighten it down like this. Dude, that's nice. And it's actually one of these security Allen wrenches. It's got a little hole in it there, so it's not like a normal Allen wrench. You can't just stick an Allen key in there.
All right, so you don't always need that exact screwdriver because it comes with this one right here.
Oh, it has a screwdriver built in? Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Integrated security hex key right there. And that one locks in. Oh yeah, that is sweet. Yeah, that is a cool feature right there. Here's one of my favorite parts about the Kuat racks when you install them is everything is labeled with the letters. And so you really just match up letters and put it all together. Here we've got the lights. Oh yeah, I got it right here. Oh man, that is so easy. The lights are magnetic. It's just a little tool like that. You flip open the door here, and then it just sucks itself right in because it's magnetic. And then you plug it in to your 4-pin receiver.
This thing is magnetic and it is cable management. So.
Oh really?
So we're gonna like get the cable down in here.
Well, that's cool. Oh, there's 2 of them.
So that way your cables aren't all over the place.
Well, look at that. The new integrated LED light bar is right here. So you can see that they're pretty visible. Maybe a little bit of blockage if you've got the arms fully out, but I think once you start folding the arms in, that shows itself a little bit better. We're like 20 minutes into the Kuat Piston Pro. What is it called? We're like 20 minutes into the Piston Pro. And so far, I gotta show you some of my favorite features. Come on in here close. So the first thing is, it automatically lets you select the tire size here so that you can adjust all the way down from a Fender Kit only to a 20-inch tire, 24, 26, 27, and a 29er, okay? So right up front, I love that it kind of takes the think work out of most of that. You just choose what you have. The second thing that I love is this is like a one-handed device. So you can easily put this down. You can fold it up the way you need it to fold up. Pull it down. As soon as you're ready to go, you just hit your pistons and you're like ready to start loading a bike. So let's load a couple real fast. I know this rack is rated a lot better for e-bikes, and I have an e-bike here to show that. I believe that the capacity for each tray is 65 pounds, which makes this pretty solid for an e-bike rack. And you just pull these in. Now, one thing I've seen so far is it looks like you probably need to push a little harder on each side just to lock it in good. And I'm ready to go as far as that rack goes. Now this one's got a slightly smaller tire, so we'll lower this one down to a 27.5. Now I can tell, fortunately we have dropper posts today, so this dropper looks like it's in the way. Pull the dropper out of the way and just secure this down. And once again, you just kind of push them in from side to side and you're ready to go. Just like any other Kuat, I think if I had e-bikes, mountain bikes, road bikes, you just keep alternating which direction you're going, and this is going to work really nicely. As soon as I'm ready to go, I just hit the button to release, pop it off. I mean, it's really easy to use. The tray capacity is about 65 pounds on the first two. If you add on the 2 extra or the 1 extra, the extra additional tray, I think, lowers the capacity down to about 45 pounds or so, 40 to 50 pounds. All right, you know what we need to do next, right? Fat tire e-bike. This is the heaviest, hardest e-bike that we have to test with today. This is one of the Rad Power bikes. You're not going to want to do this by yourself. This bike weighs probably 55 to 65 pounds. So we're pushing the limits of this rack right here with this bike. So what you do is you would just get up here and you would roll it up with the front tire. And then, like I said, probably not a one-person job. Now this bike has fenders. You want to have to play with the stops here, but with this one, we're going to put it here and then we'll slide it up underneath the fender and then we'll start pushing together. There we go. Oh, like I said, handlebars. Okay. Next, let's look at the e-bike ramp. This is super easy to use. It's just got a couple little hooks on here. It just sets right on top. You can extend this out as far as you can, and in my experience, getting that basically as far as you can eases the angle, especially if you've got a big heavy bike like this Rad e-bike. If I push the bike all the way across the ramp, it'll push this arm all the way down. So what helps is give it a little click so it's locked in, and then we can come over here. So it's got the handle right here on the back of the seat, so I can just kind of grab that and I just push up and get it to go all the way across. And then you just take this ramp and you pull it out. And you can set it over here on the next one. I'm gonna unlock it. We're gonna lock this in like this with fenders. We'll get the front here moved all the way up here to the top because this is like a 29-inch wheel. And we'll lock that one in. And because this one has fenders, we bought the Fender Kit. So let me show you what the Fender Kit looks like. The Fender Kit is really just a Velcro strap. I would not recommend this. Let me just show you why. It's meant to kind of come, well, there's a couple ways you can use it. One of the first ways is they tell you actually to put it clear down here on the fender setting down here. And that leaves this out really, I think, too far. It kind of sticks way out besides the car. So I'd actually put that up nice and close like that. And then you can choose to run that around the fender like this. My biggest problem with this is even when I pull this nice and tight, I'm only left with about 2 or 3 inches, right? I would love it if there was about another 5 or 6 inches on here. So for a Fender Kit, do I think this Velcro strap is worth the money? I'm a no. I would use, you can go to Walmart, you can go to any other general store and get straps of Velcro and just wrap those around here. And you can pull those pretty tight with or without a D-ring like this has. So the Fender Kit I think is somewhat of a gimmick. That being said, this ramp for an e-bike, super awesome. I highly recommend this because you can make loading and unloading a 50, 60 pound e-bike super fast. A good way to unload this for now, and I'll show you why. We'll unlock that. You gotta push it all the way down. We'll get the ramp on here. The reason why I like to unload to the front is because I can hold the brakes. So no matter how fast this ends up coming off, as I come down here, I can just grab the front brake here, use the handle on the e-bike, and it comes off really easy. I mean, that's probably the easiest way I know to load and unload a big old heavy e-bike. I can grab the brake this way also. You just have to make sure you steer as it comes off and you don't steer off the ramp. No matter what you do, you're still taking a 50-pound bike up 2 or 3 feet, 2.5 feet. Make sure you're in a spot where you can grab the brakes and use them as you're unloading and loading. Cool thing about this is 2 little knobs, and then it slides together ends up being about 24 inches in length. You can store that nice and easy inside the car. Doesn't take up a ton of room. It's pretty flat. So I think this is a pretty awesome deal. An e-bike ramp for a rack like this that sits, 24 to 36 inches off the ground. Super, super handy. You're not going to want to get a big, heavy 60-pound bike on and off, especially if you're by yourself. Let's talk about the bike lock for a second. I don't know how long that is, but I'm guessing it's close to 10 feet and pretty stout lock. I mean, it's got to be a ½ inch thick. Come over here. This is the cool part about how this works. So you weave everything through the frames as you want. You stick it right like that through itself. Like, you didn't even have to unlock it. I don't have to have the key to put it in. I have to have the key to unlock it. But if I leave it in the locked position, it actually just goes in and it's locked. I mean, that's a really great lock system, I think. Our friend that owns this, when we showed it to them, they were like, wow, they thought of everything. And I gotta say, it feels that way. I'm really impressed. Is the Kuat Piston Pro, what is it called? Worth the almost $1,400 asking price for just the two? Is that what it is for the two? It's pretty expensive. If you have e-bikes and you're needing something that's really beefy to carry an e-bike, this is probably the right rack. I haven't seen many other racks that carry e-bikes well. And guys, when you buy an expensive bike, you gotta protect it. All the contact points on this rack are with the rubber of the tires. So there's no metal on metal. If anything, they do shake around a little bit, but they're not coming out. I have seen people running traditional Kuat NV2s that don't set them right and the bikes can rattle out of the rack. With this one, as long as you push these in tight on the tires, I don't see the bike rattling out of here. The finish is really nice. I like the coating on the pistons. I love that it's a one-handed rack. You really can get in and out of this pretty easily. It's the heavier bikes that I would worry about the most, getting them on and off, getting somebody to help you out, because you really do have to kind of flip this down and get the bike on here to roll across. I think the easiest way is to do one tire then the next. That way you don't have to carry the full weight of the bike at any given point, but still having a second person with you, way to go. Okay, so here's the question. Is the Kuat Piston the right rack for you? The answer is it depends. If you have a lot of heavy, expensive e-bikes and you need to take care of them, this is probably the best rack on the market that I know. It is built for heavy, bulky e-bikes. You can get them on and off quickly and easily. I don't think a vertical rack like a Velocirax or anything like that, I don't think that's going to be the right rack for most e-bikes. This is definitely the best way to go. If all you have are normal mountain bikes and road bikes, I would have to say this type of rack might be a little bit of an overkill. It checks all the right boxes. It only makes contact with rubber. It stores the bikes all different ways. You can load it and unload it quickly and easily. It gets out of the way when you don't want it here. You can lock bikes up to it. Like, it checks all the boxes. I love it. But I just don't know that it's the right rack for all situations. If you found this review helpful, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys in the next video.